ठीक है, ज़्यादा ब्लिक है, I mean size maybe, चलो कोई नहीं. So hello everybody, good evening. So today we will continue with the July month's current affairs of the past year, that is 2022, and we are already 10 minutes late, sorry for that. Let us start with the first question. So which of the following statement describe the term demographic dividend? Which time and again we come across this term frequently. So what exactly is demographic dividend? C, a rise in the rate of economic growth due to a higher share of working, of course, higher share of working age people in population. Fine, this is easier. Okay. Okay, so DFS. What should be true with regard to this DFS? Yes, what should be true? I mean, what should be the correct answer here? Yes, any idea? Remember, this department oversees all, I mean, basically the banking sector, the insurance sector, as well as the pension sectors. Fine. So you can say yes, all of the above. Fine. Just remember three things: banking, insurance, and pension. Okay. Little bit technical one. Okay. Related to the GSECs. Okay. One and three. Okay. Why not two? Government securities or these government bonds are instruments that government used to borrow money. This is simplest one. I think one is clear. GSEC it indicates the broader trend, broader trend of interest rates in the economy. If you, I mean, need not to go into the last year's July, but rather if you can just have a little bit, the tap over the things which are going on, in recent months. Last, I mean, 2 months, 3 months, or especially post-corona pandemic. I mean, where we see the tightening of monetary policy by the major central banks around the world. So we see that one of the trends there emerging is that the yields, especially the government bonds or the government, securities, we see that the yield or the return over these government securities is going up. This is one of the case. So that is the thing. I mean, GSEC yield indicates broader trend of interest rates in the economy with respect to or vis-a-vis monetary policy, especially, I mean, whether the central bank is tightening the increasing the repo rate or decreasing the repo rate. So this goes in especially in opposite manner, fine, or has a negative or inverse relation. How we'll see these things? If GSECs yields start going up, it means lending to the government is becoming riskier. So, I mean, first of all, we need to keep in mind that the GSECs are, the most secure, you can say, assets, or I mean, this most secure basically, because government cannot default, at any, at any time, or you can say there is no chance of defaulting government on its payment, because government is going to be there. Party may change, government may change, but government as an institution is going to be, continuous affair. So we cannot, so that's why this, I mean, especially the GSECs or the government bonds are termed as the safest or the lowest risk investments from public point of view. So let us try to, understand this, because this is a little bit technical where we need to have deeper understanding. For the time being, the answer is all of the threes, but how Let us say it. I don't have blanks. Okay. So let us start with, we have two people, P1 and P2. Fine. Government is issuing a G-Sec or security worth face value of ₹100. Fine. And paying a coupon rate. Coupon is basically the yield or the return that we will get on that. So coupon rate is of 5%. So how much we will be getting at the end of the, the time period for whatever time period, be it 5 years or 8 years. So per month, per annum, government is suppose giving us the coupon rate of 5%, or the return of 5%. So at the end of the year, we are getting 105 over the 100 rupees investment. 105, not percentage. Fine. But let us say the other person comes in the market and starts borrowing, let us say. So it will put a pressure, and let us say this, this face value, after that 105, let us this becomes 1010. Fine. But one thing we need to keep in mind, that had the security been of the face value of ₹100, the person was P1 was getting 5% return, that is 105. But if we see in comparability terms, the return of the second person would be lesser than 5%. Getting that? If we see, because this face value is not 10 now, but this is 105, and 5% of 105, no. So that manner will give, suppose if we have third person, then you will see 110 plus into 5%. So over the successive rate, because this is all about demand supply, when you will be having more of demand, somewhere the price is going to shoot up of that particular security in the market. Fine. If more of people coming for borrowing, and we have a fixed number of securities, then of course somewhere you are going to raise the price. There's a basic thing of demand supply. So coupon payment still going to be 5, because that has been fixed by the government for the next 5 years or 8 years, whatever would be the maturity time period of that particular bond or this government securities. Fine, that is not going to change. So this is what we, in banks, if we open FDs, that FD is meant for 5 years or 10 years, but the rate of interest that you will be getting, that will be fixed. Whenever the moment we open FDs, we are very much aware that 5% or 8% or 7%, whatever return would be there, we are getting over the time for the maturity time period. So this going to be a coupon rate going to be same, but this face value will keep on changing according to the demand in the market. Fine. So that's why over the time you will see that one person, suppose first person is getting 5% return, but the second successive person will see getting somewhere around 4.7%, then further other person is getting 4.5%, and this is how the trend is going on. Fine. So this is one aspect where we can see that G-Sec yield indicates the broader trend of interest rates in the economy. Fine, because the interest rate is going to vary over time, whether it's increase or decrease, but it will vary over time. Now the question arises that how do G-Sec yields basically show up? Okay, how we can show it? So we have two things. Firstly, we need to remember that this is the lowest risk-free interest rate that we are getting in return of the face value of 100 over 100 of investment, and especially in G-Sec yields, let us say we have a time period of 10-year bond. Fine, the majority of time period is 10 years. So it would simply imply that the lenders demanding even more from private sector firms. What people would try to do, those who are getting better return on the government, and since this is the TRP of these government bonds is risk free, so people will try to encash the amount from the private sector and try to demand more and more of, because if you are getting better returns, this is what happens with the FPIs. If the US is, central bank is raising its interest rates, then they seem, the US investors, FPI investors who are investing in India, they start, taking back the dollars and they get back to their domestic nation. Because we have a trust of, domestic nation or a sovereign nation that is not going to be, default in any case. So we have this risk-free assured return. This is one thing. Second is, when it comes to lending, interest rates will rise with the rise in the risk profile, because higher the risk, higher the return. So their interest rate or the return that we are getting, of course, that will rise, in sync or vis-a-vis the risk profile. Other thing is, if GSEC yields going to starts rising, so it means lending to the government is becoming little bit riskier. Fine, because and finally we this bond prices, you can say, remember one thing, that return and bond prices have the inverse relation. Secondly, because on the one hand, when we will be demanding more of bonds, of course the price is going to, the face value is going to increase, but your coupon rate is going to remain constant. So of course the return that you will get is inverse, because the real return you will see in terms of, like, if you are comparing inflation and the rate of return and rate of inflation in the economy, suppose if you are getting 7% of return on yields, but if inflation at present, let us say, is already 7% or 8% in the market, means net return is just 1% or even negative return. So this is how the interest rates gets affected through the yield mechanism or the prices of the bonds or G-Secs in the market. Fine. So as far as this is concerned, all of them are correct. Okay. Again, we have this question related to the small saving schemes. I think we already had this such question in the first. Okay. So kindly read, after that I will. Okay. So what should be the correct answer here? Always try to focus on the extreme words, as I have said, like only, always, almost, completely. Some are the keywords where you need to emphasize particularly.
So it's saying that 1 and 2 are correct.
1 and 2 are correct.
I think so.
Okay. Okay. So of course these are the instruments or the elements or components of course national small savings schemes. Then generally the small savings schemes linked to yields on benchmark government bonds. As a social responsibility, the RBI always keeps the interest rate of small saving higher than CPI inflation. This is not the case. This is not the case. Suppose, because if you see in the last few years, government, didn't, revise the return on these small saving schemes. So somewhere they were ruling around 7%, but we see that inflation even this went past to the 7%, somewhere 7.4%. So of course net return is minus 0.4%. Fine. When your inflation is more than what you are getting as a return or yield on your whatever small saving schemes you have invested in, so of course the net return you are getting is in negative terms. I mean, somewhere the return or the purchasing power or the value of that money which you will get has reduced, in fact become negative. Fine, because earlier it could be the case that earlier few months back or few years back, the inflation was somewhere in the range of 4 to 5%. So of course you had positive return of 2-3%. But today, since inflation is more than your return, fine. So that way you are getting the negative return of that much percentage. Fine. So over the time, government keeps on raising this rate. Fine. Even just few days back, we have seen that government has revised this PPF returns by 0.5%, right? 8.15 now will get. before that it was. So of course, if we have, let us say it is 8 if government is giving us 8.15% and let us say inflation rate in the economy currently is somewhere around 6.15%, just a hypothetical figure. So of course, we have net positive return of 2%. So this is why it is expected on the part of government, especially with the small saving schemes, because these are generally made by the lower chunk, low income group people especially. So there it is expected on the part of government, especially the welfareist government, to keep their interest rate more than, I mean, their whatever yield they are paying back to the investors more than the current inflation rate in the economy. Then only people can get the positive return, otherwise the return would be like negative. Fine. So that's why inflation component become very, very important in terms of return we are getting on any type of investment. Okay, on tap licensing. What should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? As the phrase itself saying on tap, so what does it mean? Yes? On tap, regular? Yeah, on tap means that is available throughout the season or year or months, whatever it is. On tap, fine. Like we tap the mobile phones, so on fingertips we have availability of n number of informations, fine. So whenever you are tapping the if you want to open this bank, so through this mechanism you can open, I mean get the license throughout the year. It's not like कि आपको financial year के beginning में लेनी पड़ेगी या बीच में या किसी particular quarter में, it's nothing like that. So throughout the year you can open your bank branches. Okay, this is an interesting one. IDA, International Development Association. What should be the correct answer? Any idea? 1 and 2. Okay. So 1 is particularly wrong because IDA is the part of not IMF but World Bank. Remember World Bank, we say World Bank has around 6 groups, fine, but I mean the different institutions, but particularly 2 institutions makes World Bank. One is IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This was established post World War II, fine, to redevelop the European economy basically, fine. And second is IDA. So together these 2 institutions makes World Bank, fine. So that's why 1 is wrong. As far as second is concerned, it's true because it's itself saying International Development Association. So of course its agenda is development. IDA does not. In fact, it does gives grants in times of distress. So we are left with just 2. Okay. Okay, stagflation. In this stagflation case, we have, I mean, what is the meaning of a stagflation?
One only.
Yes, 1 and 2. Because stagflation means three things, remember. Stagflation, stag is, first is your stagnant growth. Second is, inflation is already there, means you have rising inflation. And third thing is high unemployment. Fine? Yeah, not employment, because if you have a rising inflation, if you have a stagnant growth, then of course you don't have employment. This employment is not coming up, right? So that's why the third component is high unemployment, not employment. So that's why 1 and 2 are correct. 3 is incorrect. Involuntary? No, something else. Okay. Which of the following are considered as tax revenue for the Union government? Yeah. 2, 3 and 4. No, there are variety. I mean, there are different sets of excise duties. Yeah. Remember how to get this. The government has two sources of revenue. Fine. One is tax and the other is non-tax. So tax, basically again tax two things, direct plus indirect. So direct is like income tax, corporation tax and all. Indirect tax includes excise, customs, fine, like this. Then we have non. Non means fee, fines, statutes kind of things, fines, even ki dividend kind of things that government is getting over the PSUs, fine. So these are the two components, fine. Especially your income through spectrum is a kind of non-tax revenue. Yeah, it's a kind of dividend that government is going while auctioning the spectrum, fine. So this is not a tax. So that's why it left with just 1, 2 and what is this? Okay, dividend on investment 1 and 2, fine. 1 and 2 only. Yeah, that is a non-tax revenue kind of. Okay, effects of inflation. Yeah, one only. Why so? Lenders suffer and borrowers benefit. Suppose you are a lender, you lended suppose 100 rupees to a borrower, fine, fine, a month prior, but now the inflation rate, yeah, increased. So of course, if inflation rate in the economy, let us say by 5%, or current is, I mean earlier it used to be 4%, now it's a 7%. So of course the margin of 3%. So of course the rupee value of this has been reduced by rupees 3, means now it just left with 97. So it is beneficial for whom? Yes, borrowers, and it is, I mean, not beneficial for lenders, because now the purchasing power of that rupee that you have lended to another person is now only 97 and not 100. So this is the case. Holding money remains an intelligent economic decision? No, because of course the value of money is going to Yes. And with every inflation, the currency of the country, yes, depreciates. Fine. So we are left with just one. Okay. Yeah, FDA.
Unlisted companies?
Yeah, unlisted companies, unlisted.
Option correct. नीचे के please.
नीचे. Okay. What should be the correct answer?
1 and 2 sir.
1 and 2. Okay. Yes? No idea? Okay. So FDI is regulated through not FCRA. That is for, already we have discussed a lot about FCRA. That is for foreign funding, receiving foreign funding by NGOs and all. This is not particularly related to FDA, rather it is regulated through FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. Earlier we had FERA, then came the FEMA, and for an investment into a listed company to be qualified as FDI should be, yes, this is the basic definition of FDI, that minimum of the investment should be more than 10%. This is a basic definition given by OECD, that is Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. And then India FDI is not allowed, it is indeed allowed. Any non-resident Indian can invest in even unlisted companies, but the condition is it should be more than 10%. Fine. So the answer is 2 only. Okay. Gini coefficient. What should be the correct answer? Yeah. Yes. Even in current affairs, I mean, when we talk about the gender gap index or pay parity.
women cricketers का बताया वो होता है.
Yes, I mean anywhere you can find this kind of definitions, technical, whenever you find in any economic readings. So Gini coefficient is, or Gini ratio basically reflects the income inequality. Fine. Income or even wealth inequality. Okay. What should be the correct answer?
Both for it.
Both? Okay. Both are correct, but the incorrect. So neither.
Like about
Yes.
it.
I think this is, I mean, this is, yeah, this is, this is what we need to check. Fine. I think this is clear. Okay. Okay. Ethanol blending. What should be the correct answer here?
I think so. 23 seems
2 and 3. Okay. Oh, no, no, of course we have this policy, National Biofuel Policy in 2018. This actually, we have already achieved, earlier target was E10, ethanol 10, means 10%, we have already achieved it, right? Somewhere 9 point something. So we have already crossed. Now this target was earlier in this policy meant to be for 2030, but the government has preponed it to be achieved by 25-26. Fine, while amending this policy, and now the target is 20% because 10% we have already achieved. Fine. So molasses, of course, molasses feedback as a feedstock, and there are many other things like molasses, like I mean we have even these cereals like wheat, even this rice stock. So the National Biofuel Coordination Committee and VCs. Now, as the name suggesting National Biofuel, since we are dealing with fuel, then what is the role of the Union Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate Change here? I mean, we have a separate ministry called the Ministry of. No. Here we are dealing with, I mean, this biofuel. So why we need, other kind of ministry? Of course, we should have Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. We have two separate ministries, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and we also have Ministry for Petroleum. That is, currently who is the Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas? I think Puriji. Yeah, I think Hardeep. Yeah, so correct is, what is the correct answer here? 1 and 2 only, yes. Okay, ban on single-use plastics. Okay. What is the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? I mean, first two seems to be correct. I think no doubt about it. Now the case is about 3 and 4.
Yes, sir. Explain the stream.
Yeah, even EPR is, this is what the definition of EPR is basically. So the only incorrect option here is your this. It's not banned, rather it has been covered under EPR. Fine. That even FMCG sector would be covered under EPR. I mean, even there the producer would be having the responsibility for, I mean, taking care of the end life of the product. Fine. So all of them are, all of them are correct except 3. This has not been banned, rather this has been merged with EPR. Fine. So that's why we are just left with 1 incorrect, rest 3 correct, 1, 2 and 4. The issue is with 3. Okay.
Not the user.
No, the issue is with your second. This is wrong. The World Network of Biosphere Reserve is created not by UNEP, rather UNESCO. We have UNESCO Biosphere Reserves. If you have, yeah. Fine. And this was, this was started in the year 1971. Fine. This first was given the tag of this Biosphere Reserve in the year 1986 in India by UNESCO. Fine. So that's why we have 1 and 3 correct, second is wrong. Fine. Okay. India Plastic Pact. Linear is like, just using and, not reusing. But circular economy is based on 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. This is what circular, the product will goes on like this, you are keep on consuming by recycling or reducing or whatever. Linear, no, those seems, but 2 is correct, 1 is wrong, because this is not launched in collaboration by the Ministry of Environment with CII, but rather this is a general collaboration between the government, business sector, businesses plus NGOs, not particularly the CII. Fine. So that's why the correct only is here 2. Okay. Read Sanders. all seems to be correct.
You're saying that all the
1, 2,
yes, foreign trade policy.
yes.
1, 2, 3. Is it right foreign trade policy or permitted?
Yeah, all of them are correct.
All of them.
Yes.
I have not.
Yeah, exports of actually red sanders has been prohibited. It seems to be illegal trading because this is not allowed. And even DRI, that is Department of Revenue Intelligence, has recently recovered around more than 15 metric tons of this red sanders. Illegal trading involved. I mean illegal trading of these red sanders.
I have not on the fourth.
Yes. Ish.
Is banned by the Ministry of Environment and Urban Policy.
Yeah, but the DRI comes under Ministry of Finance. Fine. So the charge of regulating this, of course, there are multiple ministries involved in particular decision. Yeah. So of course this is related to red sanders. So yeah, sites and where of course Ministry of Finance, because sites, then we have Wildlife Protection Act, as well as we have schedules under Wildlife Protection Act where we provide this domestic protection to the different sets of plants and animals. Okay, now it's the Western Ghats. Yes, what should be the correct answer?
Sir, please.
Okay.
Option.
Oh, I have missed the D option. Or we have. D is all three. D is all three.
All of them was.
All the above?
Yes. Yeah, maybe one, two are all the confirmed.
But third is not correct. This is not K. Kasturi Rangan committee, rather this is
I think no
Gadgil committee or Gadgil report. Fine. So that's the only issue here. So correct is okay. Now another committee. Second is wrong. Okay. Indeed, both are correct. This committee was formed in August 2014 particularly, and it recommended for creating IES services, Indian Environmental Services.
Is it there?
Yes.
Yes, service.
We have IES, but that is for economic services and engineering services, not environmental services. We have IFS for that purpose, that is Indian Forest Services.
I do not hear about that.
Yeah. So, and first is of course correct. So, incorrect, so neither. Both are correct. Incorrect means none. Okay. Now this is the latest one. Even the picture of this 4 cubs birthed by this African cheetah just 2 days back were revolving on the social medias, right? All of the above?
Yes, all of them.
All of the above? Okay. The issue is with the.
Iraq,
Yeah, this is not Iraq, this is Iran.
Okay.
Since they are already extinct, I mean they are critically endangered in Iran, that's why we could not, imported them from Iran, right? And even Iran refuted, yes, because they are already critically endangered, and such kinds of, this relocation cannot happen when some species are already in this state of affair where it is critically endangered. Fine. So that's why we had to sign MOU with the African these nations, especially we have a MOU for the timing with Namibia, from where we are getting the cheetahs. Fine. So rest 2 and 3 are correct. 1 is wrong only. Okay, Jim Corbett. Is any idea? Okay, so Jim Corbett National Park is India's and Asia's first, of course, because this came in the year 1936. It was named Haley. Post-independence, it was named as Ram Ganga because the river around which it is situated is Ram Ganga. Fine. Again in 1956, it was named as Jim Corbett, and since then it is Jim Corbett. And recently, recently the last year also, the then government of this Uttarakhand raised objection, and they wanted to change the name to Ram Ganga again. Fine. So this is the case. Then it was the first to come under Project Tiger. Project Tiger started in India in the year 1973. We have even Project Elephant, which started I think in 1992 probably. So Project Tiger started in the year 1973. Fine. And it completely encompassed the Shivaliks? No, not Jim Corbett completely encompassed the Shivaliks, but rather Rajaji National Park, again in Uttarakhand. This completely encompasses the Shivaliks. Fine. So the correct is 1 and 2 only. Okay. 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 What should be the correct answer here? Yes. No idea? 1 and 2 only. Okay. But rather 2 and 3 are correct. 1 is wrong because it is even artificial. It doesn't matter whether it's natural or artificial. Yeah, even that is, eligible for this under convention. So rest 2 are fine. We are having this answer. Like Sukhna Lake, even Sukhna Lake has been, not I think designated a Ramsar site, but some areas, something is going, even the last year there were some things going on around the Sukhna Lake, preserving the lake, because during summers we see that the, this level of water going much below the requirement, because and there they used to pump the water artificially. fine, the administration. So even they are trying to preserve Sukna Lake as well, fine, but at this moment it's not under this, but it can be, I mean later time, because this is undoubtedly an artificial lake, fine, not a natural one. So this this lake, Sukna Lake, is eligible for getting this tag if the situation arises, fine, if it's meet other this eligibility criteria. So yeah, what should be the correct pair here? Wetlands and their location. These are the wetlands of the recent ones which got this tag of Ramsar.
C is only.
C24.
Yes.
Any idea?
Which mangrove is the highest? There is no mangrove in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
This is a area. Gujarat से Tamil Nadu mangrove.
Coastal area.
Coastal है but Tamil Nadu is the same like the south is Sakya Sagar Reserve, Pala wetland. This is the coastal area.
So indeed Peshawar has a lots of this mangrove area in Tamil Nadu. Even this is in Tamil Nadu, not in Kerala, and these are rivers. Okay, Pala is in Mizoram, Sakya Sagar is in Madhya Pradesh. So what is the correct here? Yeah, only one. So it's very difficult to get the one only, because psychologically, it seems like we have done something wrong here. Because out of 4, just getting one correct is quite, near impossible thing. Okay, rare earth metals. Minerals, not metals. The last is 1 and 3. Okay. Any idea? Any idea? Okay. So let us start with India's case. China is the leader, India is not there. I mean, we have the 5th largest reserve, not the 2nd. Fine. They are called rare earth, of course, because earlier it was difficult to extract, and the magnets made from rare earth metals are more powerful. Even this is true. Fine. And what exactly are the rare earth metals? So rare earth metals are a set of 17 metallic elements. If we go into this periodic table, fine. So we have lanthanides, around 15 lanthanides. Out of 17 group of rare earth metals, 15 are this lanthanides group. Fine. One is strontium, that is scandium. And then is yttrium. I think it's yttrium. So these are the 17 in terms of periodic table groups we have. I mean, in aggregate we term these 17 as the rare earth metals. Fine. Okay. Rest are fine. They are called rare because earlier we have this limited technology, and that's why we're not able to extract them. Fine, so that's why they were termed as rare. So what should be the correct answer here? 1 and 3. Okay, the last. Okay, now geography. La Nina, El Nino.
Two only, sir.
Hmm?
Two only. It's incorrect. Okay.
Yes, incorrect.
One. Incorrect.
I think geography has already been done, covered in the class. So I think we must have fair idea about El Nino, La Nina. So quite confusing terms, but okay. So which one is incorrect?
One is
Yeah, one only. Because while La Nina condition enhances the rainfall associated with the northeast, no, this is reverse. This is southwest, and it has negative impact on northeast. This is the issue. Fine. Rest, I think this is a purely static part of geography, so I'm not going into that. But I mean, the La Nina is like warming phase, El Nino is like colder phase. So it's basically, you know, it's in the equatorial Pacific region. Fine, some movement of water, warm and cold. So La Nina, of course, is associated with, and La Nina is in fact good, because till this year La Nina was there. So La Nina, yeah, seems to be brings normal rainfall, and it's good for our countries. This fine, yeah. Okay, derecho. Yes, 1 and 2. But the correct answer is not 1 and 2, but only 1. Why so? Because this is not a cold weather phenomenon, this is warm weather, and since this is a warm weather, it generally occurs during summer time, not the winter time. Fine, they occur only, I have said, try to emphasize on these terms, central and eastern parts of the United States. No, not this is the case. They even occur in Russia, Germany, I mean noticed, Bulgaria, and so on. Fine. So this is not; these are not just confined in the United States. Yeah, United States. Fine. We see this phenomena even across the European nations like Germany, even Russia, and Bulgaria. There are certain other nations like Finland, Poland. Fine. So that's why this is not only correct. Another important phenomena that we see during derecho is that, I mean, we generally see that the sky getting green color. You know, sky becoming, you know, instead of blue, we see the greening of skies, and that is because of the this reflection of the lights, basically due to the light interacting with the huge amount of water. And what happens, that it is believed generally that the big drops of rainwater along with the hailstones, जो आंधी आती है उस time, scatter away all but the blue wavelengths. So this blue wavelength of light, which is primarily blue light, penetrates below the storm, that storm cloud basically, and then they combine with the red and yellow, which further gives your green color of the sky. So blue combines with red and yellow, which gives finally the green color of the sky. Generally we see this phenomena, we have seen this phenomena in the United States during the retro time period. You see the sky is getting green, right? Okay. Okay. What should be the correct answer?
One and three, sir.
1 and 3.
Yes.
What exactly is jet stream?
In the upper range of
Troposphere especially, yeah, the upper layer of the atmosphere, troposphere particularly, because they blow, I mean, this geostrophic wind basically blowing horizontally through the upper layers of the atmosphere, or particularly upper layers of the troposphere, fine, and generally the direction is same that of earth movement, that is west to east, fine, and this develops where the air masses of different temperature meets or converges. I mean different temperature like cold and warm air masses meeting or converging. So there we see the formation of, then we have different sets of jet stream like subtropical jet, SDJ, fine, and other tropical jet streams and other as well. So the correct answer for this is 1 and 2, and not just not, I mean 3 is wrong. 3 is wrong basically because the Arctic warms at a faster rate. Indeed, the rate of warming of Arctic Ocean is around 3-4 times more than the global average. The temperature differential between it, that is warm, and the equator, which is quite cold, because equator we have lots of rainfall, fine, so maximum rainfall there. So of course in equatorial region, so warm and cold, the differential is not increases, rather decreases, fine. Of course, yes, but equator, I mean in terms of temperature we are comparing, so Arctic Ocean, which is warming, you know, more than 3-4 times than the global average, and equatorial, the nature of equatorial region is generally not that, you know, we don't see that much of temperature, because here we, you know, equator tropics basically known for, you know, good monsoon rainfall. So of course the differential is you know, decreases, not increases, fine, and rest fine. Yeah, rest are fine. 1 and 2 are correct, fine. Yeah, correct, not incorrect. So 1 and 2 only. Okay, PDS. Yeah, it was not second 5-year plan, it was fourth 5-year plan. In the end, yeah, time period was 1969. Second was basically intensive, that was this Mahalanobis model. First was a Harad-Amar model. So it was, you know, primarily focused on industrialization. Yes. Fine, PDS, and then after that Garibi Hatao and all. So of course we see Belfairism started from fourth period onwards. So this is wrong. We are left with just 2 correct, that is 2 and 3. This is not second, but this is fourth. The year is 1969 to 74. Okay. Be little quick, we are running too late today. Just some 30 questions. Okay. What should be correct answer here?
All of them.
Yeah, it's all of the above.
All of them.
Ministry of, yes, of course, and meteorological department, so all of the above. Fine. Any doubt here? Okay. Next is Women Entrepreneurship Platform, WEP. No. Yes, what should be correct answer?
So it's saying that all of them are incredible and
The issue is with the first option itself. It's not Ministry of. The ministry. It's not a ministry. Rather, it's Niti Ayog.
Ministry of Energy.
Niti Ayog.
Okay.
Fine. This is the initiative of Niti Ayog, not any ministry. Rest two are fine. So we are, yeah, 2 and 3 only. Okay. Anthrax. Now science and tech. Yeah, what should be the correct answer? Yeah, even 3 is correct. Yeah. Hosting will shed the bacteria into the ground, of course. These are why this is sporulets are basically the spores, the formation of spores. And these spores even gets, contaminates drinking water sources, even contaminates the soil. Fine. So that's why we have a ground note here. So this is related to the soil. So these spores can be spreaded anywhere, contaminate any sources. So that's why there are fair chances of spreading this disease. All of the above, yeah. Okay, cyanobacteria. Any idea? Of course. What should be the correct answer? Yeah, it's all of the above. Yeah. Not much difficulty. All of the above. Apollo. I think this is the easiest question of whole. Yeah. Apollo 11 mission was related to. The two famous personality went in for this. Okay. Hmm? We don't have quotes here, just, I mean, either of them.
There was dark side of the moon explore करने के लिए था ना.
Apollo 11, the most famous mission, Neil Armstrong and Adrian, I'm forgetting the name. The,
First man mission.
yeah. So this is first manned mission to the moon by NASA. This is the most famous, I mean, the Apollo, this. Okay, special station. Okay. What should be the correct answer? I think we have already covered space station in one of our this discussion. Any idea?
First fully functional space.
1 and 3? Yeah, the answer is 1 and 3 only, but why 2 is wrong?
First first fully functional.
Of course, first fully functional was Mir, 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 named space station of Soviet Union, operated primarily by Russia. This was between 1986 up till 2001, and this ISS, that is International Space Station, again is a collaboration of 5 major agencies. Even Russia is there, Roscosmos, alongside NASA and European agency, JAXA and Canadian, these 5 in collaboration. So this came in the year 1998. Fine, so that's the issue. Yeah. Yeah, that's why this is in, I mean, these are the topics which are quite, I mean, we are discussing the July current affairs of 2022, but we see this is again in the news, very much in news. So these are the topics which gets, highlighted or repeated again and again. There are more, chances of coming, this kinds of question in exam, especially those which are getting repeated.
Sir, request for providing PDF of.
I've already sent the PDFs.
Okay.
I think even the last, I think May, I have sent the May and June PDFs already. I will send this too. Fine. Yeah. Especially the questions which are getting repeated, there are fair chances of, to be asked in the exam. So that's clear. Just to issue with the second option, rest fine. Okay. What is the answer here? Two is incorrect. Yeah, what are you saying? Need to do 2 and 3 correct? Yeah, what should be the correct answer? Be little quick.
One is correct. And और भी थोड़ी कर दे सन मतलब एक आफ्टर मीनिंग तो क्लियर नहीं है फिर दूसरा भी करता है
It's not ESA, it's NASA. So both 2 and 3 are incorrect.
अरे that orbit the sun
Yeah, this orbits the sun only. These are terrestrial planets, you can say, or objects which, of course, revolve around the sun. So incorrect is both 2 and 3. Correct is only 1. Okay, PSLV. All of the above is correct, but not all of the above correct. Only I think, yeah, 1 and 3 correct, not the 2, because yeah, actually, not Chandrayaan. This is something else. It's about the stages. Yeah. So correct is 3 is correct. Even this is correct. The wrong is, in this PSLV system, all the stages. In the PSLV currently you have 4 stages.
Okay.
And this is based on the fuel. Fine. Like first is solid, second is liquid, third is solid, fourth is liquid.
Okay.
So this all 3 stages, of the rocket fall back into the ocean, but this leave space junk, especially this 4th one. This keeps on revolving there only. Fine. So this leaves a major chunk of here 4-stage rocket. First 3 stages fall back into the ocean, while the last, that is 4th stage, which is liquid, remains or ends up as a space junk. But now these agencies are innovating or coming up with a new technology where they are not instead of having junk, the 4th stage, rather this PSLV C-53 mission recently spent final stage, which will be used as a stabilizer, stabilizer platform to perform experiments and not to be treated as a junk. Fine. That even we are going to utilize those 4th stage, fine, as experimental and not as a space junk. Fine. Okay. Blockchain technology. Yeah, so benefits or the applications. What should be the correct answer here? Remember, cryptocurrency is based on this technology. It's a kind of digital ledger like Bahi Khata, kind of. Yeah, so all are correct here. Fine. That's why I gave the reference of this cryptocurrency, because they are the central banks are coming with their own digital currency, CBDC, their central bank digital currency. The issue is, in such kind of blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, cryptography, we don't need any central authority, and that is a major issue with the operation of monetary policy. We need an authority to regulate the monetary policy. We cannot give it a free fall, free hand to the market. So that's why the governments are coming up with the central banks, especially with their own digital currency and not going with the crypto or blockchain technology. They are using blockchain technology, but they are not, adopting the cryptocurrency. Rather, they are coming up with their own digital currency. We call it CBDC, central bank digital currencies. Okay. So deficiency of vitamin D. What should be correct answer?
All of the above.
Yeah, all of the above here. Easier one. Next is Li-Fi, not Wi-Fi. It's Li-Fi. We call it light fidelity. Yeah, light fidelity. Any guess? Anything?
Both one and
Last is none.
neither.
Last option is neither.
Neither is
No, the incorrect only is one, not the two. Li-Fi can work underwater. This is the limitation of Wi-Fi, which is to be overcome by the Li-Fi, where this Wi-Fi fails. But first is Li-Fi is wireless technology that makes use of high frequency, not radio waves, to transmit data at terabyte per second. Li-Fi. So its name itself, light fidelity. So it uses the mechanism of light and not the radio waves. It uses the mechanism of you can say this is a kind of wireless technology which uses or makes use of visible light instead of this
not radio.
radio waves. Yeah, radio waves are used by Wi-Fi
Light.
in place of radio waves. So first is wrong. So incorrect पूछा हमसे, so the only one is incorrect. Fine. It was invented by basically a German physicist named Harald Haas, HH. Fine, and this can go up to more than 100 times speed of Wi-Fi because it is using the light, and light, speed of light itself is massive. So Li-Fi can easily work underwater as well. Next is the black fever. Okay. Cases? Actually, this is live. So in live, you cannot, yeah, it's a live. In live, you can just chat. You cannot speak. That's the issue. One of the limitations of being live. Any idea? 1 and 2. First is, remember, it's not a bacterial, rather it's a parasitic disease, protozoa based. It's not bacterial, it's a protozoa based parasitic. The disease is linked to malnutrition. Of course, this is recently WHO declared that India has eliminated Kala Jar. No. Recently, what happened? 11 districts of Bengal rather reported at least 65 to 70 such cases. We call it black fever, basically Kala Jar. Since it's a protozoa parasitic based, remember this, and it can spread through sandflies bites as well. Fine. And the parasite which gives this disease basically is named Leishmania donovani. Leishmania, Leishma, Leishmania dolovani. The name of this parasite. Fine. Donovani, it's not dolo, it's a dono. Sorry, dono. And no, WHO has not declared this. Rather, the disease is endemic, in fact, to Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Bengal. Fine. So that's why. But government is running a national elimination program on black fever or Kala Azar. So we see in recent that the number of cases now has been brought down. Fine. But this is not yet eliminated from India. So correct is wrong. Just 2. Okay, RCT, randomized controlled trial. And for RCT, I think in 2021 maybe, in 2021, this economist named Abhishek Banerjee, I think his name is Banerjee, Esther Duflo and Banerjee, the couples, Indian origin based, American economist, got this Nobel Prize in economics for randomized controlled trial. Okay, what should be the correct answer? Yeah, all are correct here. Even the second is correct. Examples of clinical trials.
All of them are correct.
Yeah. Because if first is correct, second would be correct. How? Because it studies the major effect related to the effectiveness of new intervention or treatment. I mean, new drug or so of course examples of RCT are clinical trials that compare the effect of drugs and surgical techniques. Because if we have here this effectiveness, then of course we would be having the clinical trials. Their study was related to the poverty and all. That's why they got Nobel in economics. Okay, next is NFT, quite in news. NFTs. Again, this is based on blockchain technology only. Last is 1, 2, 3 all. Mm, 1 and 2. And the issue is 1 with only, it's non-interchangeable. No. Rest is fine. It works on blockchain. Anything that can be converted into digital form can be NFT, like your, the photos, or you can say videos, audios, whatever can be converted into this digital format can be called as NFT. Fine. And this is non-interchangeable, but based on blockchain technology. Fine. And it's again a kind of digital ledger. Whenever we use this blockchain technology, it means simply we have digital bahi khata, digital ledger. Fine. And each token basically tokenized, the items are being tokenized under this. So each token is having unique identity, you can say. Fine. Or identifiable. So only correct is 2 and 3, yeah. Okay, bioremediation. What should be correct answer? Any idea? One and, one and three? Yeah, it is effective only in the environmental condition which permits microbial growth or the microbial activities. So it's not in all. Fine. That's why it is wrong. Correct is 1 and 3. Yeah. Okay, Marburg virus disease. Since we are discussing this, this is again repeated. Even only this month. This is April. So in March only, this Marburg was covered in the Indian Express newspaper. What should be the correct answer here? So what should be correct answer? Yeah, it's all of the above. Yeah, we don't have any vaccine available for this till. The disease is clinically similar to Ebola. Yeah, and it is caused by, but it is caused by a different virus. Indeed, Marburg can cause severe viral hemorrhage, hemorrhagic fever, which interferes with the blood's ability to clot. This is correct. Remember, this was first outbreak. Ghana announced the first outbreak of this. Yes. And Marburg was first detected in way long back in 1967 in Marburg and Frankfurt, Germany. Fine, that's why the name Marburg. First detected in 1967. But even till now, we are not able to get the vaccine. Okay? And this virus is a pathogen that causes basically the Marburg disease. So it's a pathogen based again. And this is similar to Ebola, although it is caused by a different virus according to WHO. Fine. And it of course interferes with the clotting. Okay. Next is international organizations. We have BIMSTEC and ASEAN. Okay. Okay. Members of both BIMSTEC and ASEAN.
I think so. Cambodia is not member of there. C stands for China.
And not necessarily C stand for China.
Yes, sir. BIMSTEC means Myanmar, Bhutan.
First is a Bay of Bengal initiative for maritime security, technology and economic cooperation.
Okay.
But the names of the countries are ended there in the acronym itself. B is Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, economic cooperation. But one country left with is Nepal. Rest countries are there covered in this name itself. One country is plus Nepal in BIMSTEC. In ASEAN, we have 10 countries of, this Southeast Asian countries. Yeah, so here we have Myanmar and Thailand, the common ones. In ASEAN, we have like Myanmar, Thailand, and these are also part of your BIMSTEC. Fine. So we have Myanmar, Thailand, then we have Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia. These are the 10 countries in the ASEAN. So the two common names we have in both is Myanmar and Thailand. Fine. So the answer is 1 and 3. Okay, babes. Yeah, babes. Yes, any idea? Yeah, the 1 and 3 are wrong. The only correct is 2. Remember, जो BEPS है, that is refers to the phenomena where companies invest in host country via shell companies. No. What exactly is BEPS? It's a base erosion and profit sharing. Base को आप erode कर रहे हो and profit को shift कर रहे हो. How it happens? Basically, the companies here exploits the mismatch or the gap in the tax rates between the two countries. Let us say MNC is having, or any company XYZ having headquarters in India, but considering that the tax rate on the services or whatever is the company is working in particular field is more in India as compared to the Singapore or Mauritius, let us say. So what will happen? This company will be having another subsidiary branch in that country, and rather than showing the actual profit that is accruing in India, it will try to shift those profits in Mauritius in order to save on the taxes. Fine. So this is how. Yes. So this is how the countries basically shows more profit in the nation where the tax rates are less or lower, and less in the countries where the tax rates are higher. So this is how they are eroding the base, because the base was in India, but they eroded and then shifted the profit in the low tax regime or the low tax country.
No shell companies are used?
Yeah, no shell companies in this case. That is altogether different thing. Because here we have the same, the sister branch or the subsidiary branch of that particular, so we need not to have shell companies. It's a Furgy company kind of things which you are, just. So India has indeed ratified, and the multilateral, this is not led by World Bank, but this is led by OECD. This is a project of OECD, and in fact the G20 project. Fine. So this is the initiative of OECD and G20 and not the World Bank. So only correct 2. Okay, known as the 4 Asian tigers. What should be correct answer? No idea? Okay, except India, all 4 are tigers, though we have the largest tiger population. I mean, quite, and I was, but I mean in economic sense, because these are 4 Asian tigers, why they are referred to as such? Because these are the economies of these 4 nations, Korea, Taiwan, Singapore and Hong Kong. And between the early, you can say the 1960s and 1990s especially, they underwent rapid industrialization, first thing, and they maintained exceptional growth rate of more than 7% for the 3 decades, which was exceptional. And today you can see the level of South Korea's development, where it stands, even Taiwan, the leading in chips, and of course, that's why China wants to get back, and Singapore, of course, Singapore and Hong Kong. So You know, in comparison to India, they stand nowhere, but in terms of technology or development, they are far ahead. So that's why apart from India, all of them. So answer is 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, MTCR. This is related to the MTCR, that is Missile Technology and Control Regime. Okay.
Control the accuracy.
Yes, what should be the correct?
Is it the founder of the department?
Be little quick. Okay, so this was not established by G20, rather G7. US, UK, Canada, Italy, Japan, and Germany, France. US, UK, France, Germany, Canada, Italy, and Japan. These are G7. Fine. The focus, of course, was non-proliferation. The name itself, MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime. So, of course, non-proliferation, not legally binding. Again, correct. India, founder, no. India was inducted as its 35th and the last member for the current time, 35th member in the year 2016.
Sir, largest importer of the weapons index to India.
Who is India?
Yes.
It's Saudi Arabia. India is second.
Saudi Arabia is the latest index in India.
Of last year?
Latest. I read it somewhere.
I will check, but I don't think so, because now we are exporting. Our focus is on Atmanirbharta, so we cannot be. I mean, this is technically not possible that we are largest importer of.
Somewhere that India stands first in import the weapons. Importing the weapons after China.
No, not after China. The biggest importer of weapon in the world is Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
China is large, I mean, one of the major exporter player.
India.
Okay, so correct answer is 2 and 3 only. Okay, I have just 2 and 2. I mean, this is 3 rather. Okay, UN General Assembly. What should be correct answer? 1, 2, 3. Remember, first is correct. It elects non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. Okay. And each sovereign state gets 1 vote. Okay. Till here is correct. And permanent members enjoy veto. No. We are, I mean, India is permanent member, but veto is enjoyed by the permanent members of Security Council, that is P5 only, and not the members of UNG. First thing. Second, all decisions need not to be approved by 2/3 majority. Only the important ones like Security Council related nomination or election of Security Council. Then we have again elections for the members of Economic and Social Council, and further budgetary questions, I mean the budget of UNG, and but other questions apart from them are just passed through simple majority, not two-third majority. So that's why both of them are correct. Okay, build back better. What should be correct answer? This is the easier one. This is the initiative of G7. It is, you can say, it was taken as a counter measure to BRI by China. The focus is on to help the low and middle and low income countries in their investment, this infrastructure investment basically. This is what the BRI China are doing, Belt and Road Initiative. So it was a counter initiative by G7, fine, to help the low and middle income countries, especially in terms of infrastructure related investment, fine. Next is ICC. Recently it issued this warrant against Mr. Putin, arrest warrant against Russian President Putin. So what exactly is ICC? Okay. Be little quick. Remember, this is the court of last resort in matters of crime against humanity especially, and it prosecutes individuals, not the country, fine. And it is governed by not Vienna but Rome Convention or Statute. And India is not party to this ICC, not a signatory. Like India, Israel, China, Russia, these are not the party. Even the US, I think, not party. So correct is, yeah. Election Commission of India, now the polity. Let us finish the polity quickly, easier part. So then we can wind up, because I don't think we'll be able to cover all the, I think we have we are having 80 questions today. We started 10 minutes late today. So yeah, be little quick. Polity seems to be easier one. So be little quick. What do you think? What should be the answer? The only issue with this, the option number. Yeah. Constitution nowhere debarred them. So correct is 1 and 2 only. Next is cooperatives. We have new Ministry of Cooperation. Last option is 1 and 2 only. So what should be the correct one? Any idea? Okay. One and three was yeah, right. It's not 107th, it's 97th.
Yes.
It's 7th schedule, but it's not concurrent list, it's a state list. Cooperatives are under the domain of a state. Promotion, of course, DPSP under Article 43B. So correct is 3 only. Okay.
So both.
Yeah, it's both. Clear? Any doubt?
No.
Okay. Right to equality in the Indian Constitution does not include yeah, it's B. Rights of accused and convicts. Fine. The rights that probably included under this is before law first, right? Equality before law, then equal protection of law, then we are having prohibition on discrimination on the grounds of religion, race and all, then equal access to shops, bathing ghats, hotels, then we have equality of opportunity in employment, then we have abolition of titles, and then we are having the abolition of untouchability. Yeah, register political parties.
Only one, sir.
Yeah, it's only one. Poll performance. Okay, MLAs in the state, suspension. MLAs. Currently the news is suspension of MPs. Fine. So keep tab on this as well. Okay. I think I should enlarge it. Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah, it's a 6 months, not 1 year.
Yes.
6 months. So only case, only wrong is this, correct is 1 and 3. Okay, judicial review. Untouchability has nowhere been defined either in constitution or in act.
Second is wrong.
Article not 11 is 13.
13. Yes. One
Fine.
is
So
one.
only one. Okay. Governor and speaker.
The constitution has specified the process and the role of governor elections no more.
Yeah. So only in okay.
State legislature speaker decides the date of the election of the deputy speaker. This two is only right.
The question is only incorrect.
Okay. One.
Yeah. Keep this thing in focus. Okay. Rajya Sabha elections. Nominated members of Rajya Sabha.
Sir, first is wrong. Second is only.
Yeah, they have qualification criteria like literature, art and science, fine, or any specific field or social service. Fine. So one is wrong. Nominated members enjoy, of course, and they do have the right to vote.
In election of president.
Not president, only vice. But they have the right to vote in terms of impeachment of president.
Yes, definitely.
not in the election, because they are nominated by elections, so there could be chances of favoritism. You know, agar main, if somebody is, you know, appointing me, so of course my vote will go to that person, simple. But in terms of impeachment, I can vote, because that scenario is different. So only correct is 2. Okay, office of vice president.
No. Correct. 1 and 3.
1 and 3,
Yes.
but correct is only 3.
Why not?
It's not House of People, it's Council of States.
Okay, sorry.
That is Raj Sabha.
Yeah,
House of People is Lok Sabha.
definitely.
That there we have a speaker. Then office of course, this is not ranks next to Chief Justice. No, he ranks second
7.
after President. The Vice President shall, of course. So only 3. Yeah, All India Services. Yeah, it's incorrect. Dono? It's only 1. Because here we are having this consultative process where the center alongside the state and consultative process. Yeah, consultative process where we are having the discussion among, we are having the, I mean in theory we have consultative process between 3 players, central, state and the concerned officer. But in reality, of course, the center can, you know, orders can prevail over. But we are having the issue with Bengal, in Bengal, Mamata Banerjee and all. Even the then Chief Secretary of Bengal government were, you know, issued show cause notice. Yeah. So it's a tough war, it's a political angle. Okay. Again, political parties. What should be correct answer? Yeah, 10th, because 10th only mentions your anti-defection. Yeah, so that's why they are mentioned of this party. Article 66(3). No person shall be eligible for election as vice president unless. So it's an eligibility condition for vice president election. No, must be a citizen of India. The issue is, remember, only with the second, not be less than 30. No, it's 35. Press refer. Because it is going to be an ex officio chairman of the Council of State, so it should be eligible for election. I mean, we appoint Attorney General for that sake, only that person who is eligible for becoming the Supreme Court judge. Okay. 3 things: rights, duties and DPSPs. Incorrect is neither.
Why, sir?
Okay, I'm giving explanation. Remember when we see the relationship between these three rights during the DPSPs, so directive principles have been used to.
Yes, sir, would we deem it invalid?
Yes, DPSPs have been used to uphold the constitutional validity of any legislation in case of conflict with the fundamental rights. And in 1971 amendment, we have seen that even though it deviates from fundamental rights, they are made the provision that in order to give the effect to the DPSP Article 39B and C, this would not be held invalid. Fine, so DPSP would prevail. And fundamental duties will be held obligatory for all citizens if the state want to enforce through legal mechanism. If parliament brings a, yeah, so neither. 6th schedule of the constitution. Okay. Be quick, we are left with just 2 polity questions. Let us finish this at least. Let's stop here only. Yeah? Correct. The only issue here is with the number 1, that is 4 states are there, but it's Assam, Tripura, Mizoram and Meghalaya, not Manipur. Fine, rest are fine. So correct is 2 and 3. Okay, governor of a state. This even governor related questions becomes important, because even in Punjab there was going a tough war between CM and governor, and even this is a case, scenario of whole India, not just particular state, but since PCS can be important from that point of view. This is last question from the polity. Yeah. Okay, so be quick. Remember, this office is constitutional office, and constitutional office are never ever subordinate. If the office is constitutional, it means it has independence, autonomy. So it's not subordinate. Fine. Further, this is based on the Canadian constitution. Yes, there the provinces of the Canadian state having governor. We discarded the American system because in American system there the states having directly elected governors. Fine. So that's why, because then again comes the conflict between the CM again directly elected and governor directly elected. So that's why we went with this Canadian system. Then one of the qualification of a person to be appointed as governor is he or should not belong to a state where he is appointed. It's not a qualification, it's convention. There are 2 conventions. First is, 2 qualifications. First, he should be citizen of India, and secondly, he should have completed the age of 35 years. Then we further have 2 conventions, that he should not belong to the state from where he is going to appoint it, to the state where it is going to be appointed. And secondly, president is required to consult the chief minister of a state concerned, fine, so that the smooth functioning of the constitutional machinery in the state is ensured while appointing the governor. But both of the conventions have time and again been violated. Fine, so that's it. We could not finish it. We have around 80 questions, left with 12 questions. We'll firstly round up these questions in the next class. Fine. And then we'll start with the next months. Fine. So I can finish it, but I think it's too late. So Yeah, so let us not miss the dinner. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have any query, kindly put the same in the comment section. Otherwise, see you in the next class. Thank you.